My fiancé said medical school was too complex for my female brain and demands I take hospitality instead. I proved him wrong at his own workplace. Me and Ryan had been together for 4 years and engaged for 6 months when I got accepted into medical school. I'd been working toward this since high school, taking all the right classes, volunteering at hospitals, studying for the MCAT for months, getting letters of recommendation from professors who believed in me. When the acceptance letter came, I was crying happy tears thinking about finally achieving my dream of becoming a doctor. I called Ryan immediately expecting him to be proud of me. Instead, he got quiet and said we needed to talk about this in person. When he came over that night, he sat me down like he was about to deliver bad news. He said medical school wasn't realistic for our future together. He said it was 7 years minimum between school and residency, and that would mean putting our life on hold. I told him we could make it work. Lots of couples did. He shook his head and said those couples didn't last because the woman got too focused on her career and forgot about her family. He actually used the word forgotten like I'd abandoned him the second I put on a white coat. He suggested I look into something more practical like human resources or maybe hotel management. He said those were good careers for women because they had regular hours and wouldn't be too demanding when we had kids. I thought he was joking at first, but his face was completely serious. He pulled out his phone and showed me statistics about divorce rates for female doctors and how many of them ended up single and childless. He said he didn't want that for me, for us. I told him being a doctor had been my dream since I was 8 years old, watching my grandmother die from cancer while her doctors saved her life. He said dreams change when you grow up and get engaged. He said his sister Kelly was perfectly happy as an administrative assistant, and his mother Judy never worked outside the home, and they were both fulfilled women. The next few weeks were constant fights about this. He'd leave brochures for business programs on my desk. He'd point out every tired-looking female doctor we saw and say that could be me in 10 years, exhausted and alone. He introduced me to his coworker's wife who quit nursing school to support her husband, and she seemed so happy according to him. He'd make comments about how medical school would make me hard and unfeminine. He said patients don't respect female doctors anyway, so why put myself through that? He told his parents I was considering medical school like it was some crazy phase I was going through. His mother called me to say Ryan was worried about me making impulsive decisions. His father sent him articles about how women who earn more than their husbands have unhappy marriages. Ryan would forward them to me with messages like, something to think about. Then he started getting mean about it. When I studied for my biology final, he'd say I was wasting time on something I'd never use. When I shadowed doctors at the hospital, he'd ask if I was trying to find a rich doctor to replace him. When his friend asked about wedding planning, Ryan said we were waiting until I got over my doctor fantasy. He started calling it my little medical phase in front of people. The breaking point came when he told me he wouldn't pay for any wedding if I enrolled in medical school. He said he wasn't going to celebrate a marriage that was doomed from the start. He said if I loved him, I'd choose a career that supported our relationship instead of destroying it. He actually printed out applications for the local community college's hospitality program and filled out the first page for me. That's when I realized he'd never see me as his equal. So I enrolled in medical school anyway and didn't tell him. I deferred for 1 semester to figure things out. During that time, I got a job at the medical supply company where Ryan worked as a sales manager. He was thrilled, thinking I'd given up on medical school to be closer to him. I let him think that. I became the top performing sales associate in 3 months because unlike Ryan, I actually understood the medical equipment I was selling. Doctors started requesting me specifically because I could answer their questions with actual knowledge instead of rehearsed sales pitches. The company owner Douglas noticed and offered me a promotion to regional sales coordinator. Ryan was furious because that was the position he'd been wanting. Douglas told him maybe if he understood medicine better like I did, he'd be more qualified. At the company Christmas party, Douglas announced they were sponsoring one employee to attend medical school part-time while working. They'd created this program specifically for me because I'd increased their sales by 40% in 6 months by actually knowing what I was talking about. Ryan's face went white. Full story on channel, link below.